Hi everyone, I'm Tarun from Zoho Analytics pre-sales team. I head the enterprise division. I'm going to be the host for today's webinar. I hope my screen is visible and I'm audible. Please confirm. Thanks for confirming. We'll get started with today's webinar. All the attendees will be in the listen only mode. In case of any questions, you can use the questions tab. I'll answer the questions either in the middle or by the end of the session. Here's the agenda for today. We will look at creating data pipeline. Creating a data pipeline in Zoho Analytics is the foundation of effective data management. It allows you to connect, transform, and load data from various sources. Followed by which we'll take a look at the job summary. Once you have set up your data pipeline, it's crucial to monitor its performance. The job summary feature provides an overview of execution status, execution time, and the data volume. Finally, you have to manage the pipeline. So this includes monitoring pipeline performance, handling errors, and updating the data sources. In the end, I'll open the floor for question and answer session. Now we'll take a look at how to create a data pipeline. In this topic, I'll be covering three important aspects. The first one is data ingestion. So this is where you import the data from different sources. In Zoho Analytics, you can connect to databases, cloud services, and even flat files. The goal is to ensure you have all the relevant data available for analysis. Followed by this, we'll look at data transformation. Once the data is ingested, it often requires cleaning and restructuring. During this phase, you can apply transformations such as filtering, aggregating, or merging datasets. This ensures that the data is in the right format and ready for analysis. Finally, we'll look at the pipeline execution. So this is where the actual data processing takes place. You can set up schedules for automated execution, ensuring your data is regularly updated. Monitoring this step is crucial as it allows you to track the performance and address any issues that arise. We'll now take a quick look at the product demo. I'll now explain how to create a data pipeline. So what you're looking at is the home screen of Zoho Analytics. As mentioned earlier, we'll be covering three important aspects. First one is data ingestion, and the second one is building the pipeline and doing some transformations on the data. And finally, we'll execute the pipeline. So I'm going to import the data. You can import the data from a wide range of data sources. We support connectors for different business applications as well as Zoho applications. You can also bring the data from a local database or a cloud database or a cloud storage devices like Dropbox, OneDrive, and much more. I'm going to bring the data present in my local drive. It is a sales data. I'm going to import the sales data along with the feedback data. I'm naming the workspace as webinar, data pipeline. I'm first choosing the sales data. A quick overview of the data set. I have the order ID column, first name column, last name column, payment method, sales, customer location, car make, and the kilometers. I'm going to import this data set. So I have successfully imported the data set. I'm now going to give no for the auto-generate reports. I have imported the sales data. Now I'm going to import the feedback data. I'm naming this table as feedback. Again, I'm going to give no for auto-generate reports. So I have imported the data sets, sales data and the feedback data. So we completed the first important step, that is to import the data. Now I'm going to build the data pipeline. So what I want to do is I want to join the table sales data and the feedback data. I'm going to achieve this by building a pipeline. Not only that, I'll also do some transformations while building the pipeline. Previously, if you wanted to join the tables, you have to define lookup by identifying the primary key. So you just have to perform a right click over the common column and select change to lookup column. Or the other method is to write a SQL query table to join the tables. Now, with the help of the data pipelines, joining tables became more easier. We can just select create and choose pipeline. I want to join the sales data and the feedback data. So I'm selecting the two tables and I'm choosing next. So anybody with minimal technical expertise can join the tables easily through this feature data pipeline. So now the tool took me to the pipeline building interface. So I have the sales data and the feedback data. When you select the plus icon, you can see different operations. If you want to do some data transformation, you can select prepare data. To join the tables, you can select join. Append will be useful if you have similar data sets. For example, let's assume you have the sales data generated over the months. If you want to append them all together, this operation will be very helpful. You can do pivoting as well as unpivoting. You can also add a stage if you want. Finally, after performing all the transformations, you can push the data to an output table. So now I said I want to join the table sales and feedback. So I'm going to select the plus icon and I'm choosing join. I want to join the sales data with the feedback data. In the sales table, I have many records with the repeating values, whereas in the feedback table, I don't have repeating values. So it's a many-to-one relationship. I'm going to choose the join type as left join. The tool automatically identified the primary key for the common column. And now I'm selecting join. I have successfully joined the table sales data and the feedback data. Now, what I would like to do is I would like to apply some transformations on this table. But I don't want to directly do it immediately after the joining. I just want to create a new stage. The reason why I'm doing this is I want to apply some transformations by adding a new stage so that I can go back and see how the data initially looked like after joining the tables. So now this is my new stage. I'm going to prepare the data in this stage. I'm selecting the data set. Now we are here in the data prep interface. We are going to prepare the data. So this is the second important aspect, that is data transformation. So we'll see how we can transform the data. You can see a quick summary that shows the table has 95% of valid data and some percentage of invalid data and missing data. I want to fix the flaws. So I'm going to start with the sales column. In the sales column, I have all the sales value. Most of them are represented with the dollar symbol, but some values has the text values USD and the capital USD. So what I would like to do is I want to replace the text values, the lowercase USD and the uppercase USD with a dollar symbol. So I'm just highlighting these texts. The moment I highlighted the text, the tool is suggesting me whether I want to extract the values or replace these values or count the values or split the values. I just want to replace them with the dollar symbol. So I'm selecting the replace option. I'm choosing edit. And here, the replace with I'm providing the dollar symbol. Whatever changes that you do is simultaneously getting reflected in the preview pane. Now the preview looks good. So I'm going to select apply. So I have fixed the column sales. Similarly, you can also check the other columns. When you mouse over to the top of the column, you can see the health of that particular column. How valid the column is. If there is any invalid data or missing data, it will showcase. So this is the column health bar. The next column I'm going to focus on is the payment method. In the payment method, I have empty cells. I want to fill the empty cells with a custom value called cash payments. So this column has different payment methods. I want to fill the empty cells with cash payments. So I'm going to perform a right click on this column. And I'm selecting fill empty cells and I'm giving a custom value. I'm just typing cash payments and I'm selecting apply. So here we go. So I have filled the empty cells for the column payment method. Now the next transformation I want to do is to deduplicate. If you see the order ID, there are duplicates. For example, the order ID 5 is getting repeated and 7 is getting repeated. Similarly, I have other duplicates as well. I want to remove these duplicates. How can I do that? I can do that by simply selecting transform and I'm selecting deduplicate. You can deduplicate either row wise or column wise. In my table, I have duplicates row wise. So I'm going to deduplicate row wise. There are 200 duplicate rows found. I'm just going to simply remove the duplicates. Here we go. I have successfully eliminated the duplicates. Now I can see I have the first name column and the last name column. The first name is present in title case and the last name is present in uppercase. These two columns are nothing but the customer name. What I want to do is I want to change the case of the last name and then merge the first name and the last name column and rename it as customer name. So let's focus on doing that. To change the case, you can just perform a right click on the top of the column. So I want to change the case for the last name column. I'm selecting change case. I'm choosing a title case. Now I said I want to merge the columns, first name and the last name. To merge, you can perform a right click on top of the column and select merge. I want to merge the first name column with the last name column. So I'm selecting last name. You can see the preview. I can see that there is no space in between the first name and the last name. So I'm going to add a separator. I'm just providing a space. Now the preview looks good. I'm naming the new column as customer name. You can delete the original columns if you want. I don't want the first name and the last name columns to get reflected after I join them. I'm selecting apply. So here we go. I have the customer name column. So now I have the customer location column. As you can see, this column has the state name as well as the country name present together. I would like to split the column. So I'm just highlighting the comma separator The moment I highlighted, the tool understood that I'm intending to split the column and it's showing the preview. So this looks perfect. I'm going to select apply. So I have split the columns. I have the state name column and the country name column. If you carefully notice the country name column, the United States of America has been repeated multiple times. It is represented as U.S.A as well as US. And similarly, I have the same problem for UAE and U.A.E. I have the same problem for UK. I want to fix this. How can I do that? I can do that with the help of cluster and merge. So I'm performing a right click on this column. I'm selecting cluster and merge. So cluster and merge will simply cluster the misrepresented values and you can merge it with a custom value. So three clusters are found. The tool found the misrepresented text values for US, UK, as well as UAE. And it's suggesting me to replace with these values. You can also change this as per your requirement, but I'm not going to do that because I'm happy with what the tool already suggested. I'm going to select apply. Here we go. I have almost fixed this data. In the feedback column, I have some empty cells. So I'm going to fill the empty cells with the null values, or we can fill it with the custom value no feedback. So I'm going to choose fill empty cells again, and I'm going to pass a custom value. I'm just providing the text value as no feedback, and I'm selecting apply. So this is the feedback we received from the customers. Now what I would like to do is I want to do a sentiment analysis on top of this column. How can we do that? We can do that easily by performing a right click on this column. And now I'm selecting sentiment analysis. I'm naming the new column as rating. Now a new column called rating will be created that shows whether the comment or the feedback is positive, negative, or neutral. With the help of data prep, sentiment analysis has been made very simple. With a couple of clicks, you have the sentiment analysis done. So here we go. We have the rating column. Now I have completed all the transformations that I wanted to do. Now the data is 100% valid. I'm just going back. And now I'm happy with the result. So I'm going to push this to a new output table. So I'm selecting create as an output table. So here we go. I have the new table. So after you complete building the pipeline, you can run the pipeline. You can also schedule the pipeline if you want. You can give the schedule interval as per your requirement. You can choose these options and then select save. So you're importing the data from a data source, you're building the pipeline, and then you're scheduling the pipeline to run at periodic intervals. All the transformations, you don't have to redo it again and again by scheduling this pipeline. So now I'm going to run the pipeline. So this processing takes some time, around 2 to 3 minutes. So I will show you an executed pipeline with the same data set. So this is a pipeline that I have already executed with the same data set. This shows the overview. You can see the duration. It took around 2 minutes and 51 seconds. And it shows the storage used along with the total rows processed. We can also see the start time and the end time. We can go to the stages to see the different stages. So initially we imported the data sets, sales and feedback, and then we applied certain transformations. You can also view the rule set. So this will show the list of rules that you have applied. And then we have exported the table as an output. I'll show you the final processed output. So this is the processed output. This is how you can run a pipeline. So I'll just give a quick summary of what we did so far. We initially imported two data sets. One is the sales data and the other one is the feedback data. We imported it from the home screen by choosing import your data. And then we created a pipeline. To create a pipeline, you can select create and choose data pipeline. You can select the data sets that you want to join. I selected sales data and the feedback data. And the tool took me to the pipeline interface. I'll show you the pipeline interface. So this is where we went. And then I selected the plus icon and I chose join and joined the tables, followed by which I created a stage. And then I applied the transformations in this new stage. So in case if I wanted to go back and see how the data looked like after I joined, I can go back to the previous stage. So here I did all the data transformations and then I pushed the data to a new output table. I would also like to inform you that data prep is also available as a standalone tool. So I'll show you the data prep, the standalone tool. So what you're looking is the standalone data prep interface. Here also you can do the data transformations. Whatever we saw so far is something that we did within Zoho Analytics. So data prep is also available within Zoho Analytics with limited functionalities. Whereas on the other hand, if you look at the data prep as a standalone tool, it has a lot more transformations. If you want to know more about how this standalone data prep works, you can register for a separate webinar. You can find the information in our webinar page. I would also like to inform you that we have Ask Zia within the standalone Zoho data prep. You can just select Ask Zia and type the transformation that you want the tool to do. For example, I'm just typing, hey Zia, fill the empty cells of the column payment method with a custom value that is cash payments. Zia will understand what we typed and it will do the transformation. So here you go. The empty cells has been filled with the cash payments. If you are happy with the result, you can select apply transform. In this way, you can also leverage the OpenAI capabilities within the standalone data prep interface. So I covered all the important aspects that I wanted to cover in today's webinar. Now let's open the floor for questions. If anybody has any questions, feel free to post your queries and I'll be happy to answer. I hope I was able to answer all of your questions. If you have any further questions, feel free to drop an email to support@zohoanalytics.com and we'll be happy to assist you with your queries. Thank you so much for joining today's webinar. It was great interacting with you. Thanks again for your time. Have a good one. Bye.